akin.
Good day, everyone. I am Aljon N. De La Cruz, one of the reporters for Chapter 8, The Instrumentation. As we all know, water is one of the most vital resources on our planet. It is integral to sustain life, ecosystem, and human activities, mula sa pagtawid ng uhaw natin to large-scale activities. The importance of water cannot be overstated. However, managing water requires knowledge and continuous monitoring of various aspects of a hydrological cycle, and dito na papasok ang role ng hydrologic instruments. So next slide. So ano nga ba ang hydrologic instrument? Hydrological instruments are the tools and devices that scientists, engineers, and environmentalists use to measure, monitor, and analyze water resources. These instruments provide critical data on precipitation, water flow, soil moisture, groundwater levels, and other key parameters. By collecting key, by collecting and interpreting this data, we can better understand the dynamics of water systems, predict weather patterns, manage water supply, mitigate the impact of floods, and support sustainable development. In this presentation, we will explore some of the most hydrologic instruments, their functions, and their application. So next slide. First, we have the rain gauge. Rain gauge is used to collect and measure the amount of rainfall over a predefined area. Over a period of time, this is essential for understanding weather patterns and managing water resources. Accurate measurement of precipitation helps in predicting weather, planning water supplies, and studying climate change. There are various types of rain gauge, such as the standard rain gauge and the tipping bucket rain gauge. So let's start with the standard rain gauge. The standard instrument for the measurement of rainfall is 203 millimeters or 8-inch rain gauge. Standard rain gauge is essentially a circular panel with a graduated cylinder. So when it rains, water is collected in the panel and directed into the cylinder. The markings on the cylinder allow us to measure the amount of rain that has fallen over a specific period, and the recorded rainfall data is used for weather forecasting, agricultural planning, and water resource management. Next is the tipping bucket rain gauge. Tipping bucket rain gauge consists of a panel that directs rainwater into a small-sized bucket with a tiny hole in the bottom. So dito, kapag napuno yung bucket to a certain point, it tips over emptying the water, and that signals na yung fixed amount ng precipitation ay na-collect na. So next slide. Sunod naman is yung evaporation pan. Evaporation pan is a device used to measure the rate of evaporation of water from a specific surface area over a certain period. It consists of a shallow flat bottom pan made of non-phosphorus material such as metal or plastic, typically painted white to minimize heat absorption, and is placed in an open area away from obstruction. Basically, nilalagay yung pan in a level wooden base and enclose siya ng chain link fence. Then the rate of evaporation is determined daily by recording the depth of water. So initially, yung quantity ng water dito is sineset siya ng 2 inches. Then at the end of the day, nire-refill yung water dito, and yung amount ng water na kinailangan para ma-fill ulit yung pan into 2 inches is the rate of evaporation. So next naman is, related to this instrument is the lysimeter. Evapotranspiration are often made using lysimeters. So it is a device used to measure the movement of water through soil, particularly the process of percolation or drainage. So basically, yung lysimeter ay ginagamit upang ma-measure yung amount ng water na nagpe-percolate or tumatagos sa soil. So yun.
So next is wind temperature and humidity. So wind temperature and humidity, we I focuses on the devices that we use to measure it. So first, wind. Using an anemometer, we can measure the wind. So Anemometer is a device that has a wind-propelled element such as a cap or propeller whose speed is calibrated to reflect wind velocity. Next slide. Next is thermometer. So using a thermometer, we can measure the temperature. Next slide. Psychrometer. It consists of two thermometers, one called the wet bulb and the other is a dry bulb. So using a psychrometer, we can measure a humidity. Next slide. Open channel flow. Open channel flow measurements of open channel or natural and created flow are made using standard measuring devices such as plumes and weirs. And they are also made by calibrating special control sections along rivers and streams such that measurement of depth flow can be related to discharge. Next slide. So weirs is a common water measuring device. There are three types of weirs. First is rectangular weir. Rectangular wheels as a notch of a simple rectangular shape. Second is Hippolyte wheel. So Hippolyte wheel is much like a rectangular wheel except that the vertical sides of the notch. And lastly is the B-notch wheel. B-notch wheel has a triangular nut customarily measuring 60 or 90 degrees. Next slide. Partial plumes. Partial plumes is developed by the late Ralph L. Partial in its particular form of venturi plume, especially shape open channel flow sections that can be installed in a channel section. Next slide. There are several major advantages of plume. First, it can operate with a relatively small head loss. Second, it is fairly insensitive to the approach velocity. Third, it can be used even under submerged condition. And lastly, its flows velocity usually sufficient to preclude sediment deposit in the structure. Next slide. Go. Control sections, where the installation of a weir and plume or some other flow measuring device is impractical. It is sometimes possible to develop operating curve at some location. Along stream by taking measurements of depth, cross-sectional area and velocity and calculating the note of flow for a particular stage at the location. So sa console sections, the velocity meter is similar to an anemometer. It is placed at a various position in the channel and velocity is recorded. By doing this at a number of locations, a velocity profile per given depth can be developed. From this an average flow, velocity can be computed, and by using that determination and the cross-sectional area, discharge can be calculated as a product of mean velocity and cross-sectional area. If observation can be made from a range of depths, a rating curve that can be developed for the control section so that the only measurements of depth will be needed to estimate rate of flow at some later time. Additional information on this procedure is just like recorded house and stealing well for a gauging station. That's all.
Next is for the depth or stage instruments. So depth are made using a float and cable arrangement in a steering wheel or a bubbler gauge. A bubbler type installation makes use of dry air and nitrogen as a fluid for bubbling through an orifice into a channel bed. As the depth of flow changes, the change in head above the bubbler orifice causes a corresponding pressure change. This results in a fluid level changes in the manometer connected to the gas supply. This is turned to reflect stage variation over time. So for telemetry system, Telemetry system automatically gathers, sends, and evaluates information from distant sources, utilizing sensors and also additional tools to gather info. It makes use of speech systems to send back the information back to a focal point. And for remote sensing, it offers a means of monitoring hydrological variations and extremes throughout wide regions and can significant in the scientific study of hydrology. Transportation, allocation, and oversight are contributor in the water surface on Earth and other celestial bodies such as drainage, water cycle, water resources, and other drainage basin sustainability. So that's all. That's our report on our chapter 8. Thank you.